This 5-speed mid-engine sports car from Lotus is powered by a deceptive 4-cylinder 16-valve engine to a top speed of 125 miles per hour. Thanks to its lightweight frame, the Elise still packs a 0 to 60 punch of 5.6 seconds. This is the Vauxhall VX220, a 5-speed mid-engine beauty that goes from standstill to 60 miles an hour in a low 5.6 seconds. A sequential multi-point fuel-injected 2.2-liter 4-cylinder engine catapults it to 135 miles per hour. The Opel Speedster. This lightweight 2-seater takes you from standing start to 62 miles an hour in 5.9 seconds. It possesses a top speed of over 130 miles an hour. The Ford TS50. 335 horsepower and 369 foot-pounds of torque get the TS50 to 60 miles an hour in under 6 seconds. Mercedes CL55 AMG Coupe. Its speed-sensitive power-assisted steering offers this 5,000-pound machine complete control. Its 24-valve V8 generates 355 horsepower and feeds it to 17-inch wheels. Possessing a 4-liter V8 that generates 370 horsepower and over 380 foot-pounds of torque, the Jaguar XKR's top speed is over 150 miles an hour. With a 0 to 60 mile an hour time of 5.3 seconds, the BMW M5's V8 engine provides 400 horsepower at 6,600 RPMs and a top speed of over 150 miles an hour. The BMW Z8, powered by a dynamic 5-liter 32-valve V8 engine. The combination of a low drag coefficient and a 400 horsepower engine attached to a 6-speed transmission gives the Z8 a top speed of 155 miles an hour. This is the HSV Coupe GTS. Its V8 engine motivates 3,700 pounds from a standing start to 100 miles an hour in 11.3 seconds. Acceleration tops out at an impressive 170 miles an hour. From Ford, the SVT Mustang Cobra R. This car accelerates from 0 to 60 miles an hour in a low 4.9 seconds. Its beefy 8-cylinder engine turns out 385 horses and drives 18-inch wheels. From Chevrolet, the Corvette Z06. At 6,000 RPMs, the 8-cylinder engine produces 405 horsepower. This equates to a 0 to 60 time of less than 4 seconds and a top speed of over 170 miles per hour. A 20-valve V10 engine attached to a 6-speed overdrive transmission pushed these 3,000 pounds of American muscle from 0 to 100 miles an hour in less than 9.5 seconds. The Ferrari 360 Spider. From Italy's premier car maker comes this 400 horsepower beauty, capable of hitting speeds of 180 miles per hour. This is the Porsche 911 Turbo. Its speedometer tops out close to 200 miles an hour. The 3.6-liter twin-turbo engine delivers over 400 horsepower at 6,000 RPMs. 0 to 100 miles per hour in a mind-numbing 9.2 seconds. With a top speed of over 180 miles per hour, the Aston Martin Vanquish's 12-cylinder engine generates a peak of 450 horsepower at 6,800 RPMs. With 485 bhp at 7,000 RPM and 419 foot-pounds of torque at 5,000 RPM on tap, the 550 Barchetta's 65-degree V12 is an extremely flexible performer. Lamborghini Diablo. 0 to 60 miles an hour in under 4 seconds. 457 foot-pounds of torque. 550 horses. Enough to push the Diablo to a top speed of over 200 miles per hour. The Carrera GT from Porsche. top speed is over 200 miles an hour. Its V10 induction engine revs to over 8,000 RPMs, and its peak horsepower comes in at 558. With 571 horsepower put to the pavement through a permanent four-wheel drive system, the Lamborghini Murcielago is capable of 205 miles per hour. Under the Mercedes CLK GTR's hood is a 48-valve V12 engine capable of 600 horses, but the car weighs only 2,200 pounds. Combine these attributes and you get a top speed of 200 miles an hour. The Ferrari F50, 3,000 pounds of Italian supercar, 0 to 100 miles an hour in 6 seconds, and a 202 mile an hour top speed. The McLaren F1 is in a class by itself. 627 horsepower, 479 foot-pounds of torque. Top speed for the F1 is over 240 miles an hour. McLaren F1 LM. Its astonishing 12-cylinder engine cranks out 520 foot-pounds of torque at 4,500 RPMs, enough to propel this car to 100 miles an hour in 6.1 seconds.